Hey guys, Perkon here. I wanted to share some fun things I've done over this year, and I hope you might find some of them interesting to do yourself. Over the past year, I've spent some time partaking in New Mexico events held around the state. Ranging from concerts to cultural, it gave me lore for future stories and lots of entertainment. As many of these events I've never visited, which allowed me to see if I ever wanted to go to them again. Some of them today I plan to review will be a definite revisit, while others not so much. Before we start talking about the events, I want to share a little bit of information on New Mexico. New Mexico is a state with a lot of different biomes. In Santa Fe and Albuquerque, I dealt with mostly deserts and shrubland. Make sure if you visit to bring plenty of water and sunscreen, as you will need it for most events. The first event I want to talk about is the Santa Fe Ren Faire. This was apparently the 16th year of the event, and the first time I've gone to it. The tickets were only $15, which was quite affordable, and they had options for taking a bus or parking near a parking lot near the venue. Honestly, though, I took the bus, and I think that's the best choice out of any of the locations. My friend that I went with, she ended up parking next to the Ren Fair, and it took her 30 minutes to get out of the parking lot, while I took a 5-minute bus drive back to my car, and I was way home before her. I think one of the best parts once you get into the grounds and everything is everybody's costumes. I had a lot of fun taking photos of people, talking to people how they made costumes. There were people doing D&D characters. There were people just doing fantasy. There was people doing, there's like a few fursuits, whatnot. All in the grounds, very friendly. Everybody was talking to each other. Everybody's taking photos. The other neat part about this Renaissance Fair was the events and all the shops. So there was an event running around. I did not partake in this, but I saw other people running around for it, and I kept getting asked if I was and if I needed help. But they had like a Queen's Quest kind of event. So you had to run to the tavern, you had to run to different shops, talk to the people working at those shops to get like cards or tokens of some sort in order to get the end prize, which I thought was rather pretty neat. The other thing about the shops as well, it was really neat that a lot of them had leather goods and or metal goods. So you could buy like an axe or leather armor or whatnot. A lot of people were buying like horned drinks as well, which is kind of cool. You know, those containers that you can fill liquid in with. I ended up not really buying anything this event, but I think next time I go, I'm definitely getting one of those mugs because I'm having dreams about it at this point. For the events, the one I partaked in to the most was the Jousting event. I think that was probably the best one out of all of them, but I did see the belly dancer event as well, and also the like jester event. I will say the reason why the jousting is the best one is because they are so interactive with the crowd. So the entire time they split the crowd into two, bad and good, and they hyped up the crowd. They give us sayings to shout out during the events. They had a golden horse thing. There were shrapnel flying at us. It was fantastic. That's probably the main event I would go back to go see. In this next video, you'll see the hypeness of the crowd. Like, this was probably the most fun section during this entire event. My team ended up winning the event, which I was on Team Bad, which was the greatest team ever because they kept hyping up the crowd. They kept giving us fun little slogans to say, like, you're not winning if you're not cheating. And they felt more interactive than the good side was, which was kind of funny to say. The other thing, too, that was kind of neat was at the end, they allowed us to meet their horses. And those horses were just cutie pies. I really just want to go again to see the horses. The jousting era was held over by the ferry grounds, which was, I will admit, this was one of the cons of the event. It was a little hard to find. It wasn't until the girl I met up with, she showed me the map, that we realized, oh, there's an entirely another section. I think there should have been a little bit better signs or just more pointing kind of to where to go, because I did not realize that's where I needed to go for jousting and for the ferry village. Even with that minor issue of not really knowing where to find stuff, I will say there wasn't a lot of cons for this event, besides that one. There was a little bit of a weird thing in the beginning where we had to wait on the outside of the grounds because the opening sequence was occurring. And from my view and most view of people in line, we couldn't see anything. We could only hear it. So I say next time when they do that, they should do it inside the grounds so more people can actually view it. Because I would have loved to taken video of it or just even seen it. The other thing too is the bathrooms were hard to find, and there was a bathroom filled with Black Widows, which was absolutely horrifying. But otherwise, really great free water refill stations, great group of people around the area. Everybody was so friendly and really good food. I do recommend this event. If you're liking this video so far, please like and subscribe, or let me know down in the comments if I should change anything. Let's go over one more event I've done this year. The second event I went to this year was the Japanese Fall Festival over in Albuquerque, over in Expo, New Mexico. It was an interesting event. Parking did cost. I did not know that prior to going. I believe it was $10 to park. And on the inside, they had plenty of vendors, tons of food trucks, and a lot of live shows. I would say one of my first live shows that I watched was the drums when I first entered, which we're going to watch a video of in a second. After watching the open ceremony, I got to admire a little bit more of what they were doing up there. They started adding more drums or just doing like a dance, which was quite interesting. But after I left them, I head towards the other side of the facility, or I guess the grounds of Expo New Mexico, where I found that there was going to be I think it was judo. I might be incorrect on this. I think it was the Santa Fe or Sandia judo team. Watching this team was a lot of fun as they were very informative and they showed a lot of different techniques that they learned during their time learning these martial arts type of skill. The one thing, however, I say for future organizers of this event, because it was organized by the Japanese Society of New Mexico, you need to not have the judo fighters in the sun. The entire time in the front row, I could hear them whispering about how their feet were burning. So I do actually kind of really feel for these guys because they were in a lot of pain while showing us their skills. It was quite a bit of an issue that even at the end, their main guy who was their voice person stated that they needed to be put in a cooler area if they're going to do this event again in the future. After watching the martial artists, I ended up going to the other side as it was rumored that there was going to be a traditional Japanese dance and more drums. When I got over there, I got the tail end of the Japanese dance. So I managed to grab some food in the meantime. The food truck that I went to had the shortest line, and I should have known it was not very good and it was very overpriced. But I think in the future I will go into one of the much longer lines and get better food. But after the traditional dance, more drums came on. They did a type of war drum. And I watched that before I headed out from the venue, as it was getting, I think it was 94 by the time I left. Overall, I did enjoy both of these events, and I do plan to go to both of these events in the future. If you guys like this video that I made, please like and subscribe. And let me know down in the comments if I should do more videos like this. I did go to several other events this year, and I would love to share them, but I don't want to, put it out there if you guys aren't interested in it. Again, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful week.